No one expected what happened that morning in Los Angeles. Sylvester Stallone, the man behind Rocky and Rambo, was going through his usual pile of fan mail. Among the many letters, one brown, wrinkled envelope stood out. No stamp, no return address. Just a line scribbled on the front, "To Mr. Sylvester Stallone. Urgent." His assistant nearly threw it away, but something made Stallone stop. "Wait," he said. He opened it slowly. Inside was a simple handwritten letter, neat script, no fancy words. At the bottom, with deep respect, Ibrahim Traoré, President of the Transition, Burkina Faso. Stallone froze. Burkina Faso. He hadn't thought of that country in years. He read the letter. Then again. And then he cried. The letter wasn't from a politician. It was from a man, a boy once, who had sat in a hot, dusty classroom decades ago, watching a black-and-white Rocky film. He didn't know English, but he understood the fight, the pain, the resilience. "I didn't understand your words," the letter said, "but you taught me not to give up. You made me believe I could stand tall. Today, that boy was a president, and now he was inviting the man who gave him hope to come visit. Not as a celebrity, but as a symbol of belief." Sylvester didn't speak. He just packed a bag. No media, no press, no Hollywood buzz. He boarded a flight and flew to Ouagadougou, capital of Burkina Faso. When he landed, there were no red carpets, just waving children behind fences, dusty winds and quiet honor. He was taken to a small clay school, the one where young Ibrahim had once watched. Rocky, a tin roof, cracked windows, faded walls, but so much memory inside. "This is where he saw you for the first time," the guide whispered. In a tiny room, a rusted projector still sat facing a white sheet. Stallone stood in silence, eyes wet. Then a barefoot boy peeked in and whispered, "C'est toi, Rocky?" Stallone smiled, knelt, and replied, "No, but I came here because of you." That evening, a small wooden box was delivered to his guest room. Inside, a bracelet, hand-carved, and another letter. "You owe us nothing, but you've already given so much." The next day, he met President Traoré under a tree. Just two men. No flash, no vanity, only respect. "You made me strong," said the president. "I made that film when I had nothing," Stallone replied. Then the president added a third chair, for every child who ever felt unseen. Later that evening, back in his guest house, Stallone opened another envelope, this time filled with letters from orphans and street children. One said, "I run like Rocky before school. It makes me feel alive." Another, "You fight the bad guys. I fight hunger. Thank you." One tiny line read, "When I'm scared, I remember Rocky got up." And Stallone, the legend, cried again. The next morning, he visited the children in person. No one screamed Rocky. They just hugged him. One girl gave him a broken toy and said, "For you." Another child drew him with boxing gloves and angel wings. "I drew you as a protector." He knelt, hugged her, and whispered, "I think you're the real protector." Then came the most powerful moment. President Traoré revealed blueprints for a storytelling and film academy, built near the same school. "A place where our children can tell their stories," he said. Stallone, overwhelmed, promised, "With everything I've got." That night, they sat under the stars at the president's childhood home. No guards, just grilled chicken, rice, and memories. "We didn't have much," said Traoré, "but we had courage." Sylvester whispered, "This feels like a scene from a film I never got to make." Traoré replied, "Maybe now you will." Before leaving, Stallone was handed one last box. Back in LA, he opened it. Inside, a folded flag of Burkina Faso, signed by dozens of children. And a note, "You came a stranger. You left as family." And a golden pin, only given to national heroes. Stallone whispered, "This is the most important role I've ever played, being human." But the story didn't end there. Midway through his flight home, something felt unfinished. He asked the pilot to turn back. "I need one more day," he said. He returned, this time to commit to building the Storytelling Academy, not just in name, but with real resources. Teachers, equipment, and heart. The world took notice. Millions watched. And then Stallone said on national TV, "I came to meet a president, but I found a family." He held up the drawing with angel wings and said, "I've played many roles, but none have felt this real." The internet didn't argue, it cried. And finally, Stallone shared the original letter with the world. A letter not of fame or flattery, but of hope, of resilience, of a boy who saw himself in a fighter, and the world remembered what it meant to care. If you've read this far, thank you. If this story moved you, share it. Comment what you would do if you received such a letter. And maybe, just maybe, your words could become someone's reason to keep fighting.